Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. I've got a video for you today. It's kind of a pickup video. I went to a card show today and it was a brand new one in Denver, or south of Denver, in a suburb called Highlands Ranch. This one was called the 5280 Collectible Expo. And on this little flyer, it says it was supposed to be 150 tables. I think, if there were 40, I'd be surprised. I think it was a lot smaller than anticipated. There's a lot of tables. There may have been 150 tables, but they were empty. Um, that being said, it's a brand new show. I'm not going to pass judgment on them or it or whatnot. It just probably didn't get as much attention, or just people don't know about it yet. So hopefully, if they have another one, it will be bigger, and each one will be bigger and bigger and bigger. But that one was kind of small, and it was a lot of the same sellers that you see at a lot of the other shows, which isn't quite a bad thing. But I'd love to see some new sellers at some of these shows. I like the old ones. Don't get me wrong, but I picked up some cards and nothing too great. No like heavy hitter type cards. So if you're looking for mantles and mazes and stuff, you're probably not going to get it in this video. And hopefully this won't be too boring for you. But if you just want to look at some cards with me, then stick it out for the ride and see what I got. Some fun stuff. So let's get on with it. Starting off, we've got 1962 top. It's called Bob's Pupils. It's a Tigers card. It features two rookies at the time, Steve Boros and Jake Wood. Jake Wood, I know, went on, and he was pretty decent throughout the 60s. I don't really know Steve Boros, what happened with him, whether he stayed with the Tigers or went somewhere else, but I don't recall there being too many cards of him on the Tigers. Next up is Jim Bunning, 1962 tops. This is a really clean card. The centering's not perfect, especially on the bottom, and I think there's like the top edge that you sometimes see, like from often there's like a line from the card that sits on top of it on the sheet. I think you see that at the top of this, but still a cool card of Jim Bunning. Next up, I don't really consider myself a set collector yet. I've got binders that have like all the sets in them of like the 60s and 70s and stuff, and I add to them whenever I get cards, but not actively. I'm kind of a passive set collector, I guess, and I'm active when it comes to the Tigers and stuff, but I wanted to get the key cards, the Hall of Famers and stuff from all the sets, and one card that I didn't have yet for the 1963 tops was Luis Aparicio. So I was happy to get a pretty nice copy of that card. And then this is me being stupid. I'm sure that you guys have done this, and if you haven't, then good on you. But I do this not all the time, but it happens pretty frequently, where I'll go to a show and I don't take every card out of like the sleeves or out of the top loaders or whatnot. So I don't always see what the condition is, other than kind of what you see with the case, and you miss stuff. And this is one that had a big crease across it, so I was kind of bummed at myself for not noticing that. So I'm gonna have to replace this. It's a Frank Robinson 1966 tops. Didn't have that one yet. Still it's a placeholder until I get a new one. Not being a set collector, but being a Tigers collector, I guess I'm also kind of a former Tigers collector as well. One Tiger that I always loved is Harvey Kuenn. And here he is after the Tigers. He was on the Cubs, and just 1966 tops of him. Here's a card which features like Roberto Clemente, Mazeroski, Willie Stargell, although they're little itty bitty and you can't really see them, but it's a Pirates Teams card, which is pretty cool. Here's a really clean copy of Hoyt Wilhelm. It's card 510. I don't know if that's a high number. I mean, you guys know I don't know where the cutoff is, but 510 seems like a pretty high number to me, but not sure if that means he's more rare or anything. He's not priced as being more rare, but yeah, if he's a high number, let me know. But anyway, it's a Hoyt Wilhelm from 1966 tops. Here's a really great player, Ken Boyer, 1967 tops. Didn't have that one yet. Here's a dual card, I guess you can call it. Tribe Thumpers. It's got Rocky Colavito, and the other guy is Leon Wagner. Just a cool card. These are all going to fall if I don't move them. Sorry. Here is 1967 Topps, Willie Stargell. Here is, now we're getting into the 70s. Don Sutton, 1973 Topps. Didn't have that one yet, so that's a cool one to add to the collection. Here's a really nice copy of Thurman Munson, 1975 Topps. Really like that card. Glad to get a good one. I think I've got like a really well loved card of this, and this one kind of is a nice replacement. See that? Same deal with this next one. I've got a really well loved version of this card and wanted to replace it with a clean copy. So here's Bob Gibson. Here's one who I just received in the mail yesterday, a signed 1964 Topps of, but this is 75 Topps Jim Cott. I'll feature the 64 Topps one on my next video for TTM. And here's Billy Williams. Cool card. It's got one of those, like, these 75 Toppses, they've always got the, I think they call them fish eyes. Like, see that yellow dot up by A's? Like, they're like hard to avoid, but there's a lot of them on that set. Frank Robinson, not the best centering, but one I didn't have yet. And then some of these are like TTM guys, so I got them for that purpose. One such as George Medic. That's why you'll probably wonder, like, why are you picking up these random players? But they signed through the mail, so I was going to try to send it to them. Bert Blyleven from 76. Here's another one. I always love this guy's name, Ross Grinsley, which I believe he signs through the mail as well. So I got that one for that purpose of sending it to him. Here's another Willie Stargell, 1976 Topps. Here's another TTMer. He charges $5, I think, per card. So I was going to send one to him. I don't think I'm going to send more than that, because I'm not that invested into that. But Ralph Garr, and this might be the card that I sent to him. We'll see. Here's a guy who I think he is more famous, not for his like playing in baseball, but for his bubblegum blowing ability. This is a card that like seems to have like some cult like status. It's trying to get it in focus, but it's Kurt Bevacqua. Yeah, I'm not sure about his career as a player, but as a bubblegum blower, like that's a pretty big bubble. And this is one of those cards that I think he signs through the mail as well, and like charges more for his bubblegum blowing card, because everybody like loves this card for some reason and wants it signed. And you can see why it's kind of an anomaly. Like, you don't see bubblegum blowing cards in every set, but in this one, for some reason, they made that. And just a cool card. I didn't have it, but it's just one of those weird things that I don't know if it should be in everybody's collection, but I don't know, I want it in mine. Here's Andre Dawson, who I'm working on a TTM submission for him. He charges $10 a signature. I sent cards to him back in May, and they disappeared or got lost in the mail. I never got them back, so I was thinking of sending his 81 Topps as well as possibly his 78. I've also got a Tiffany from 1988 that I was going to send him. So we'll see what we ended up sending him, but I was thinking possibly sending the 1981 Topps. And really great catcher of the Tigers, Lance Parrish. He signs through the mail, charges like $15. I think it's worth it, but I'm a Tigers fan. Here is Tim Raines' 1981 Topps rookie card, which I'm replacing my other one with that. Then into some hockey. Here's some 72s. A lot of these are for TTM. A lot of them are, some of them are guys I sent cards to already, and I just wanted to replace them in my binder with non-signed ones. Starting off with Marcel Dionne. Haven't sent to him yet, but he does sign. Here's Peter Mahovlich. Lorne Gump Worsley. This guy I'm working on sending a submission to. I may send this card to Nick Libet, which he was on the Red Wings, and I think he went on to on the Red Wings throughout the 70s and then went on to the Penguins. And but I was going to send Red Wings cards as a former Detroiter. Gilles Meloche, he's a really great goalie, not on the best teams, but he, I sent some cards to him in the mail to be signed a couple months ago. Haven't received them back. I haven't really given up on them yet, but haven't gotten those back. I think I may have sent this card to him already. That's kind of why I picked it up, to just in case I didn't have it already, but or to resend if they don't come back. All these guys sign. Here's Terry Harper. He signs through the mail. I just got some from him. And Rod Sealing. And then here's a few more. I don't know why these ones were in top loaders. The rest were in sleeves, but they weren't anymore. They didn't cost anymore. Brad Park, great player. Here's possibly the best Maple Leaf of all time, Dave Keon. And he signs through the mail too. I've got some out to him right now, including like a 68 Topps. So can't wait to get those back. And you all know Ken Dryden. Another Nick Libet to probably go up in the thing to him to get signed. And then anytime I find like really clean Gretzky's, I'll often get them and sometimes grade them, hoping to get a 10. This one may get a 10. We'll see. If there's a grading special, like if they're like $14 or $15 or whatever, I'll sometimes send in some Gretzky's, but that one looks really, really outstanding. So we'll see. And next are probably the two biggest cards that I got. I don't know that they're that big, but I kind of like them. First up is 1951 Bowman of George Kell. George Kell was a Hall of Famer who was also on the Detroit Tigers, and I think he was on the Orioles. I'm not sure if he was on any other teams, but I'm a fan of him from the Tigers, and I got his 52 Topps of him on the Tigers, but I didn't have this card yet. And I think a lot of us kids who grew up in the 80s know him from, he did like the television play-by-play announcing. Him and Al Kaline did all the games on TV, and he did play-by-play. Al Kaline did color announcing, and I think that's where a lot of us got to know him, but because he played before our time. But definitely know that he's a great player and know about the history of him, and just happy to get him on this card. I love these 51 Bowmans. Really, really beautiful artwork, I guess, because they're like paintings rather than actual like photos, but cool card. And then lastly, I got a 1957 Topps of Lauren Gump Worsley. This is a crazy card. Like, I don't know what they were like trying to do with this picture. It's almost like, I don't know if he was like playing or something and like trying to stop a puck, and then they like took out the background and then like zoomed in a really awkward way to make it look just bizarre. Like, that's the most bizarre like photo that I've seen on a hockey card. But anyway, it's a cool, really good player and good card. So happy to get that one and happy to add that to my collection. So with that does it for the 5280 Collectible Expo. That's what I got this time. Hopefully you weren't too bored with that, and if you watched this far, then awesome, good on you. Hopefully I will see you guys on the next one. I do have some fun upcoming videos. I've got a submission from PSA that just got completed and is currently in the process of shipping back to me, so I should have that one probably this week. So we'll do a half and half, well, not half and half, but like a somewhat blind reveal. They do make offers now, so I looked at the cards that they made offers on, but I didn't look at the rest of the submission. So I think if you join me on that one, you'll get to see some of those cards and look at them for a first time with me. So anyway, I will see you guys on the next one, and thanks for watching. Take care.